Good morning.
That was adorable. Oh my gosh. Good morning.
And happy Monday.
It's Monday?
It is Monday.
Today's Monday? Today's Monday.
What does that mean?
Means, I don't know, I was trying to think of something clever to say, like, every day feels like Saturday when, and I was like, I don't know what to say. My wit has left me. What has happened?
Nah. It is Monday, which means that we're going to be talking about all things mindset. But let's begin with some housekeeping things before we get this party started and kick off this new show on the road. By the way, as you guys can see, we are finally getting ourselves settled after what feels to be a couple of weeks of just being all over the goddamn place. Feeling grounded and centered is just, gosh, something that I'm definitely grateful for. But in all seriousness, you guys, we have made a miscalculation on Friday night, and we've realized that we actually have 2 more spaces for ENS Live. Today is Monday. It is March 1st. It is ENS and Live. ENS Live month, you guys.
Happy March 1st, March 1st, March 1st.
2 spaces are still available. Newly opened spaces are now available. And by the way, speaking of the power of 2, we will be having 2 very special guests.
Nobody knows.
But I can guarantee you, all of you who are going to be there, that you're going to be absolutely mind blown and you're going to love them.
Okay, and you get to say no more just in case there is some foreign misinterpretation.
Zip.
Don't give away the secrets is what I'm saying. But yes, she's right, and it's gonna be epic. We couldn't be more excited. Could we? I'm not really sure, but it feels really exciting.
So look, if you're interested in joining, just go ahead and message either myself, Erin, or anybody on our team. Lauren Waymeyer, Crystal, Ashley, or Stacy will go ahead and we'll give you all of the information that you need in order to get you sorted out. Okay.
All right.
So it is March 1st.
Mm-hmm.
Spring
How fantastic.
is almost around the corner. Unless you live in southern Florida, it is summer and it feels great. Okay, so let's get to today's conversation.
Yep.
We're going to be talking about all things weight loss mindset.
Weight loss mindset. By the way, if you're in the Ultimate Transformation Academy, there's an entire digital course
that you should be going through.
Yeah, so the title of this is The Weight Ain't Gonna Lose Itself. And the reason that's the title is because hopefully it got your attention. And that's really the only reason that that's the title. But it's also the truth. Trying to think of any case where it wouldn't be the truth.
Yeah.
But it is truth. And where do we get stuck in this? All right, so check it out. I was a personal trainer for over a decade. And I have not had it confirmed verbally, but from my experience, it seems as though several of the clients that I had thought, because I have a personal trainer now, I'm gonna lose weight. Because I've signed up for this thing, now I'm gonna lose weight. Unfortunately, we can't just pay and then expect to lose weight. Same with a lot of weight loss surgeries. And I can't say this is for 100% of the cases, but for most people we've spoken with who have had some version of surgery with the intention of getting rid of weight to become happier with self, the weight comes back still. It's relentless. And so what do we have to do? Can't just buy our way to anything. Actually, if you're thinking about it, why do we pay for things?
Solve problems.
To solve a problem. So does the money solve the problem? Or does something that you get, tools, resources, have the capability of helping you to solve the problem? What that means is you still gotta motherfucking show up. This is this topic's a good reminder for me too. Because the thought that I have is the mañana people. Mm-hmm. Whereas I'll do it tomorrow. I'll start tomorrow. I'll start Monday. We've talked about this before. I'll start on the new year. I'll start, it's the 1st of March and it's a Monday. Oh my gosh, the stars are aligned. Today's the perfect day to start. It's a Monday. It's the 1st of a month. Glory. Heavens have opened. Hallelujah. I can start today. But there are times where this thought still goes through my head. Where maybe I'm eating a little bit off. My off is not very off at this point. You'll hear my bad and it's not bad.
What is your off? Tell them.
My off is I had an extra Kirkland bar and some extra nuts and whatever.
We call them boobies.
Oh, I had a little bit of pita this weekend.
You did have pita.
And it's to me, because I know it's not the cleanest thing, that's my bad now, right? But I'll still tell myself sometimes I'll have this extra handful of nuts because tomorrow's a new day, right? We all go through this. And my point in saying that this is a good reminder for me is to say, you're not alone. If you feel that way, if you're I'll start tomorrow, or, you want to stop drinking, after the weekend. Because why? That's the most fun time. To have drinks and eat like crap. Why? I don't know, but I think all of humanity understands the weekend is the most fun time to misbehaving with your nutrition. What?
It's funny.
All right, I've said enough.
So, today's message goes out specifically to anybody who either feels like they've, achieved some kind of results, but now they're feeling super duper stuck. Or maybe the ones who can't seem to get off the swing of on and off and on and off and on and off. Or just the ones who just feel they want to educate themselves a little more. So now, here's the thing, you guys. Every day counts and every day matters. And it doesn't matter where you're at in your journey. Weight loss is so much more of a mindset game than it is anything else.
100%.
Because you want progress, you got to keep on raising your standards. You got to keep showing up every single day, regardless of what's going on. Now, that doesn't mean that, if you want to let's say, intentionally, have a treat on a given day, that doesn't mean that it's going to set you off. It just means that every day, if you have a goal, you have to make decisions based on that goal every single day, instead of going back to your comfort zone. Our mentor, Grant Cardone, says this: there's 4 levels of action.
This is good.
There is no action, which is impossible to do, because even when you go to sleep, you're sleeping, you're taking some kind of action. Okay? There's retreat mode. Those are the quitters.
Backwards action.
Yo-yoers. Like, if you're a yo-yoing, like, you go forward and then you retreat, and you go forward and then you retreat, and then you go forward and then you retreat. And then there is average action, which is like, I'm gonna do just enough. It's like, if this is your comfort zone, you might take 1 foot outside of it, and that's it. And you will stay there for a very long time. You get average results. Now, as far as I'm concerned, nobody wants to lose weight to look average. Why would you put yourself through the hassle and through the effort of losing weight if you want it to look average? Do you guys agree with me? Think about it. Losing weight means consistently taking yourself outside of your comfort zone. If you want to lose weight, you can't be comfortable. You can't eat shit and lose weight. Over time, if you've done the really right things, then yes, you can definitely deserve a treat. However, your focus should never be on that. And here's the interesting thing that happens. When you've made such tremendous progress, because you care so much about the progress you've made and how far you've come, you don't even care about those treats, because you're like, that's a fucking distraction. I don't want to get my mind consumed with distractions. I mean, you could every once in a while, but I'm telling you this from my own personal experience. And then there is massive action. That's just doing all the right things a lot for a consistent, long period of time. It don't matter if you crushed it last week. It don't matter. Do it again this week. And you know what? Do it again the week following. And you know what? Do it again the week following. But because people are so messed up in their head, and I'm saying it, just about society in general.
All
right?
people, even us. All
Yes.
people. If you are a people, you are messed.
Yes. Like, we can't think past tomorrow. We have to train ourselves to think beyond ourselves. But it doesn't matter what you did a week ago or yesterday. What matters is how long can you keep going at taking massive levels of action. If you think about, like, anybody who achieved anything remarkable, like, think about Michael Jordan, think about Kobe Bryant, think about Tom Brady. The reason why they achieved the level of success that they did is because they were so consistent at practicing the fundamentals for a long ass period of time. But what society does is that it distracts the distracted mind. So everybody is just walking into each other with a blindfold put on. It's like, okay, 2016, I'm going to do the South Beach diet. 2017, I'm going to do the zone. 2018, I'm going to do the paleo. 2019, I'm going to do the keto. 2020, I'm going to go vegan. No, dude, keep it simple and just stay fucking consistent. But here's the thing, you guys. The reason why people have a hard time believing this is because they can't wrap their mind around it, because that requires you to take yourself outside of your comfort zone.
It's uncomfortable there.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable. And that's why we always say, weight loss is not about the weight that you lose, but who you become in the process. When you step on the scale, if it says that you went up or it keeps showing the same thing, guess what? It's a sign. that you're either not being consistent enough, you're retreating, maybe you're doing well, but then you have a tendency to fuck yourself up in your head once again. You're too scared, so you go back to your comfort zone.
Or you have blind spots that you don't know about. You think you're doing good, but there are things that you think you're doing good that maybe are not necessarily good based off of what you've learned or you've been taught.
Yep.
So the scale's not moving, but you think you're doing everything right. You just don't know what you don't know. It's also a possibility.
Yeah. You guys, and this is why we show up for this show, and this is why, like, we've built this incredible community for you guys, because it is so, in order for you to achieve the results that you're looking for sustainably, you need encouragement, you need a community. You can't go through it alone.
Rule number 1, don't go it alone.
Absolutely not, because the minute you face an adversity, when you go through it alone, remember this, we were meant to survive. What ends up happening is that we go back to retreat mode. But now, if you have, let's say, 100 people or 10,000 people moving you forward when you're having a shit day, are you more, are saying, come here, versus you being inside your head? Are you more likely to listen to that voice in your head, or are you more likely to follow through? You're more likely to follow through, and this is when progress happens. When you follow through when you don't even feel like it. Ow.
Oh, I didn't know that was your foot. Why you got your foot on my chair?
When you follow through when you don't feel like it, this is when progress happens. It's not when you cut carbs for 100 days. Yes, that can reduce the bloating. When you follow through when you don't feel like doing something, this is the silver lining where magic happens. So challenge yourself today to push past your limits, to do things even when you don't feel like it, even if it's inconvenient, even if you're in pain, unless it's an injury. But I swear to you guys, half the time when we tell ourselves that we're in pain, it's shit that we're making up. Just being honest. Be a fucking savage. You want to look like a savage? Act like a savage. If you're looking soft, it's because you're behaving soft. When shit is scary, you're like, I'm going to go back to my comfort zone. I will have those wheat thin crackers and low-fat cheese. Be a fucking savage. Eat like a savage, train like a savage, think like a savage. And when you get inside your bitch voice head, ask yourself, what would a savage do right now? Will a savage go attack, or will a savage hide in their cave?
I believe what would be helpful for them is if we define the term savage. Not domesticated or under human control. I already like it. Ooh. Untamed savage beasts. Do you think a lion is walking through the jungle when a hyena comes up to it and is like, excuse me, you're gonna need to do XYZ because that's what I think you need to do. And if you don't, then my feelings will be very hurt. And do you think the lion is like, yes, you're right, hyena? Fuck no, the lion's like, bitch, shut up.
Roar. Like Boogie and the Squirrels.
Lacking the restraints normal to civilized human beings.
Oof, yes. Lacking the restraints normal.
And you guys, this is a mindset. That doesn't mean now you need to go legit getting savage on the universe and on people. But like in your mind,
I mean, maybe.
There's a person, there's like a, what is it? Where you have like a second person, An alter ego,
yeah.
right? Your alter ego is a motherfucking savage. Tap into it. Fierce, what is that? Ferocious. Wild, uncultivated. So good. I had a couple of thoughts, if I may.
Yeah.
Weight loss takes a lot of patience. Mm-hmm. And that's something, as a society, I believe we have gotten away from, is being patient. Even myself, I hate waiting in lines. I hate waiting at red lights. I don't like waiting. I don't like waiting because I feel like I could.
It reminds me of the stoplight that we're on, and you're like, I was really thinking about.
There's this light here that like is like an 8-minute light, even if there's no cars coming. It's the silliest thing. But anyways, I don't like waiting because I feel like I could be doing something productive and whatever. But when it comes to success that you have to achieve, it takes patience. Doesn't matter what it is. You can't step on the scale after 1 week and expect to be where you were 5 years ago. So it takes patience. It takes courage. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you need to edit some relationships that you have, and that is really difficult, and it takes a lot of courage. Sometimes, like, you have to learn how to say no. What
about editing your relationship with yourself?
Hold on. And you said, if you want to lose weight, you can't be comfortable. By the way, I was writing really fast and I spelled you, Y-O-W. Because 2 U's is better than 1. Anyways, I was like, oh, that's weird. That's funny. And I'm going to share it. So, I know you guys do crazy things like that when you're in a hurry writing. You skip I's and R's and anyways. If you want to lose weight, you cannot be comfortable. But listen, Linda, I've talked about this before, where there is no such thing as comfortable. If you are alive, pinch yourself real quick. You feel it? Perfect. You're alive. That means you will never be comfortable. You can find comfort in certain things, but you will not be ever like fully comfortable because you're either getting worse or you're getting better. And if you're staying the same, you're getting worse because as you get older, your body degenerates.
Like it or not.
So you will always be uncomfortable.
Now that's
which version of it would you rather? The kind that moves you forward or the kind that makes you sad and sorry for yourself? That was another thought that I had. Now, how you were like, you said something about a distracted mind and wheat thins. I think that was in the same context. But how do you keep your mind focused? And I was thinking about this. I was like, well, shit, like how do you stay focused on a goal and not get distracted? Because it's so easy to be, like motivated on Monday morning. I've got my Oxygen Women's Health magazine and I did my cardio today and great, and it's Monday, but then by the time Thursday rolls around, for some reason, we're tired now and we don't want to do things and we start making justifications for eating different things and then we stop caring a little bit more as the week goes on. Why? Write your goals down every morning and every night. You'll never forget why you're doing what you're doing. If you don't know why you're doing what you're doing, you're not going to keep doing it. Your excuses will become louder than what you think you want because you're not keeping it fresh in the front of your mind. Write your goals down. If you take one thing away from this, is that write your goals down every morning and every night. When you wake up and before you go to bed. When you start your day and when you end your day. Religiously. because you stay focused. And then when you think, oh, instead of eating my carrot and hummus snack at work, I'm just going to go grab a donut in the break room, you remember why you're doing what you're doing. And if you feel the temptation, write your goals down again at 12:06 p.m. because you feel like going to grab a donut. Remind yourself what you're doing, and it will become a habit, and you will become unstoppable. Nothing will take you off your target. Nothing will take you off track because you know the mission. I want to go grab a donut. I'm going to write down my goals. Boom. You get this new sense of motivation. That's why I'm not going to eat the donut, and that's why I'm going to eat my carrots and hummus. Perfect.
You know why I think that people also probably struggle with what we say?
Hold on. Can I finish my
yes.
my
Yes.
The other thing is that these conversations, the purpose of them is for you to do extraordinary things, is for you to create a life that you deem worth living, that you are excited to live. So you don't have to want to have a life worth wanting to live. We're not telling you what you need your life to look like or what you want to make you happy. We're not telling you how you need to live, what you need to do, what makes you happy, what makes you feel fulfilled, what makes you feel sexy, what makes you feel badass. We're not telling you. You get to make those things up, but these conversations are for the people who want to achieve great things. And to achieve extraordinary things, these are the things that you need to do. The reason I have to say that disclaimer is because I don't like telling people, this is what you have to do. This is how you should live your life. But what I am saying is if you want to be extraordinary, and if you want to feel accomplished, and if you want to feel proud of the life that you've created, then these are the things that you need to do. Write your goals down every morning and every night. And anytime you're feeling distracted, anytime you're feeling like making an excuse, write them down again. Write them again and again and again. And you remind yourself, and you will stay focused.
So many golden nuggets.
And not going it alone. This is my last thought. You can't go it alone. You can't go it alone. Because think about this. If you are yelling at the top of your lungs, but a group of people is yelling at the top of their lungs together, who's going to be louder? You are your excuse, and the group is your accountability. And if the group is yelling louder than you, you can't hear your excuses. That is why you need a community.
Mm-hmm. You got my head spinning.
Are you dizzy?
It's like we play ping pong with
Girl,
our
you
thumbs.
dizzy?
So, as you were saying it, I was thinking about you said the word extraordinary, which is so profound. And I was thinking to myself, what is the difference between extraordinary and average?
Ordinary. Yeah. Average is ordinary.
Yeah. But extraordinary people do ordinary things really well.
Great.
But the reason why they do that is because extraordinary people and versus the average people are chasing two different things. Average people are chasing comfort. Meanwhile, the extraordinary chase freedom.
It's the truth. It's the truth. The reason you stay average is because you're chasing something that doesn't exist. Comfort.
If you're the kind of person,
Stay silent for a second
okay,
and let that sink in. The average person is seeking something that does not exist. There's existence, yes, comfort is a thing, otherwise it wouldn't be a word that we've defined. But nobody has a comfortable life. The most successful people you've ever heard of, they don't live comfortable lives. They have freedom, but they didn't get the freedom because they were comfortable getting it. So though you can find comfort in things, you can't seek to live just a comfortable life. Because to get it, you're not comfortable, and to not have it, you're not comfortable.
Nina, I want to add to what you said, and thank you so much for dropping it in the comments, but you said average chases comfort while extraordinary seeks freedom.
That's what you just said.
Chases freedom. Very different. Seek is like, I'm a try. Chases means I'm going to do whatever the fuck it takes. There is a big difference between seeking and chasing.
I see what you're saying. Like determined
I'm
action.
seeking a squirrel on the street so I can give it to Boogie. But I'm chasing.
You can't capture if you don't chase.
Right. Seeking means I'm gonna try.
Like I'm looking
Chasing means I'm gonna do everything I can.
Seeking is like, I'm looking, I spy with
Yeah.
my little, I see freedom. I see it. I suck it out. I found it.
But Nina, I know your intentions with regards to that, and you're definitely on the same wavelength. But you guys, like the power of words. Remember this: what we think is what we say is what we do. What we do ends up becoming our legacy. So if you're saying I'm seeking extraordinary results, then ask yourself, what does that mean? Versus I'm chasing.
The lion seeks the hyena, but the
Yes.
lion don't get to eat unless it captures, and it don't
Yes.
capture unless it chases.
The lion chases.
The
Okay.
lion sleeps tonight.
But you know, you guys, the reason why we're so passionate about these conversations is because weight gain and obesity are a pandemic. Everybody talks about the coronavirus pandemic. There's now a vaccination for it. We're gonna be fine.
Where's the vaccination for obesity?
It's here, and it's this community, and it's not just information. In fact, nowadays there is a war of misinformation. And that's why Erin and I and our team are doing everything that we can to freaking dominate. Why? Because we know that we have the answer. You guys, there is a pandemic, and it's called obesity. The top 10 killers in the United States are all a byproduct of just poor lifestyle. Chronic disease, cancer, diabetes. Imagine if we lived in a world where people got themselves outside of their comfort zone and were educated to do the right things. Not just eat better foods. You guys are here not because you don't know how to eat. I bet you that you're very misinformed about what you eat. You might think that carbs are bad and maybe that keto is okay. However, that's not your problem. Your problem is that you're not willing to get outside of your own goddamn self. That is your problem. The day we start to get outside of our own head and do things for a purpose that's bigger than ourselves, That's when we chase greatness. That's why mothers are incredible. Why? Because everything that they do is bigger than themselves. It's all for my child, for my child, for my child. Now imagine if you treated every area of your life like that. You guys, obesity is a pandemic. As soon as we finish the workout today, our gym is not fully set up yet. So we live like half a mile from the beach, so we work out there. And on your last round, you were seeing a dude.
Yeah.
And you were describing it to me. The first thing that she said as soon as we got done with our workout, she's like, man, I feel so sad for this guy. So I asked her, I'm like, which one? Because I saw one guy that I felt sorry for, and it was the homeless dude who was sleeping on the beach. I don't know if you saw that guy. But I was like, at least it's warm out. At least it's not freaking freezing out. And she's like, no, another guy. So tell us the story.
Yeah, I want to share this story with compassion because, you know, I try not to say I feel sorry for people, because I'm a very big believer in, you know, we are where we are in our lives because of the decisions that we've made under the circumstances we've been given. And there's no need to compare circumstances. Everybody, like, we just, you know, we have choices in how we respond to anything. But, you know, there's two sides to every single coin. And the one side of the coin, you know, is the part that says, dude, you're in this position because of yourself. He was extremely overweight, and I actually slowed down my run because I was concerned he was going to fall over. He did not look intoxicated, but, you know, he had no shirt on. His shorts were like halfway off. He was like almost like he had drop foot, but he was like extremely heavy, and I was nervous he was gonna fall and need help. So I kind of slowed down a little bit, and I watched, and I was like, well, it seems like he's okay. I'm gonna keep running, you know. And then there's the other side of that coin that's like, man, my heart is breaking for his body that's breaking. You know, the human body is so resilient. And all I could think to myself was, we never need to let it get that bad before we decide to make a change. But it seems like we make the changes most often when something tragic happens. But what if something tragic doesn't have to happen? What if you could make a change to prevent something tragic from happening?
What if that was the standard? To just take care of yourself so you never have to get there.
So, you know, imagine, no matter where you're at, there's some people watching this that are, you know, they're well along in their journey, doing extremely well, you know, feeling, you know, in the greatest shape of their life. I'm so excited for you. There's people who are on their way, and there's people who are just getting started, who can maybe resonate with that. But no matter where you're at in your life, be it your health status, mentally, just how you feel about yourself in your own skin, you know, there's the idea of beauty only can live within you. The idea of where you feel your best, most confident, where you feel unstoppable, where you feel like, you know, nothing will break you. The shape that your body is in at that state, you know, your mental state, that's all up for you to decide. It doesn't mean, oh, you're 5'6" on a 130-pound body. Like, that's your idea of where you want to be lives in you, and you have to look inside and ask yourself, what does that mean for me? What does that mean for me? And then think about if you didn't pursue that, what's the worst that will happen? Put that image in your mind just for a second. Don't hold it there because we don't want to focus on that. But it's important to understand what could happen. And then if you choose to take action to become the person that really truly feels like you, what's the best that could happen? And which one would you rather fight for? You're either fighting for the freedom, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially. You're either fighting for the freedom or you're fighting against the opposite of it. No matter what, you're fighting. So do you want to be David or do you want to be Goliath?
Is David the right answer?
Well, he won. I want to be a winner. Does anybody like losing? I like learning. I don't necessarily like losing. There's a great podcast actually by Andy Frisella, Real AF, with Tina Claire Toomey, who is the 4 or 5 times now?
4.
4 times CrossFit Games champion, about this very thing. Do people really like losing? Because there's this stigma too about like, oh, does everything have to be a competition? Like you just want to win all the time. I want to win all the time. I always want to win. I want to win against myself. I want to win against the other people in this industry who are trying to do what we're going to dominate. I want to win, of course. But that podcast was awesome. Anyways, losing is for learning. That's it. And no matter what, you're going to be fighting.
The reason why I asked about, I hope that the answer is David, is because David had very little odds of winning against Goliath because Goliath was a fucking savage. But David had whatever it took here.
David had faith.
He was an underdog. It don't matter where you're at today, dude. It don't matter. If you believe and you show up and you give it your all each and every day over time, you too will beat the Goliath, who's already a savage. Now, who are you gonna let be the bigger savage? Your bitch voice or your winner's voice? You have a choice. Now, why are we so passionate about this, you guys? For one, if you are new to listening to this show,
thanks for being here.
Ourselves and our families have been a byproduct of choosing comfort. Because in life, you get wrapped up in the rat race, in the bullshit. And it's easy to do what's more convenient in the moment. I almost lost my dad, you guys, and I had to come to Jesus moment to focus on the right things. And then my body completely transformed for the first time ever in my life after a 10-year battle. And I felt so good that I said, you know what? From here on out, I'm going to do everything that I can to help as many people as I can achieve that same thing, because I know what it's like to want it, but to be misled by others, by your head, and by society. Together, we will rise. So you guys, the reason why we're so passionate about this is because weight loss is just a vehicle. It's a vehicle towards living an extraordinary life. Because when you overcome this, and when you learn to control this, and this is in alignment with this, anything is possible. Now, here's the thing. A lot of times, whatever it is that we want to pursue, it's really hard to believe it if we can't see it. So imagine if you want to be the world's next best tennis player or if you want to be more influential than Oprah, or, you know, if you want to give back to the community more than Mother Teresa would, do you think if after overcoming something that you physically can't see within you, you'll be able to actually see what it is that you're capable of achieving in life? Yes or no? I'm telling you from my own personal experience, when you learn to control, align, and overcome this, you start seeing the potential of what's possible. And if you're struggling, then guess what? You're in your own way. And you get the opportunity to make a choice. To stay in your own way or to get out of your own way. It's a choice. Nobody said it was going to be easy, but you have to make that choice. So here's the thing. If you keep on repeating the cycle over and over and over again, you need to have a conversation with yourself if this is not really what you want. And ask yourself, what are you committed to? And if you need help, then damn it, reach out for help. Stop trying to do this by yourself over and over and over again. You've proven to yourself enough time that your head gets in your way. Anything is possible. But when you're in your own way, you will always be stuck. So know that we're here to help. Know that we know how to help. We've already helped so many people. We want you to be successful, but you have to want to be successful more than anybody else, because by the end of the day, David had to fight for himself. He couldn't just let his supporters fight for him. It don't matter how big is your army. You have to play your part.
And you don't always see it before you believe it. Sometimes you have to believe so that you can see it. Mm-hmm. So that is it.
Look,
for today's episode.
You guys, if you found value from today's conversation, we ask you a small favor that will help to go a long way for yourself and for others and for this world and for this global pandemic that we're facing, have been facing for over a decade, going to face for more than a decade.
There's something really on my heart too, because I'm thinking back to when I was younger and when I lived in the land of people pleasing. And when you live to please people, you lose yourself.
Yes.
And I remember when I was in that position and I didn't know who I was. And it was so sad because all I was trying to do was make everybody else happy. And I don't know why I'm crying, but I don't care. And I'm crying because it's a great thing, because the amount of freedom I've been able to find in not giving a shit. When I know me and when I'm living me and I'm doing me, and I know I'm doing my best, and I know my intentions are so pure, and I know that I'm busting my ass to make a difference in this world. I don't care what somebody has to say. I don't care if somebody says, is that a girl's head on a man's body? You're really funny, but I hope that you find happiness in your life. The amount of freedom you get when you don't care. And you can be you all the way, 100%. You're going to hurt people's feelings. Why? Because people have feelings, and not everybody thinks the same way as you, and not everybody believes the same things you believe, and not everybody has the same opinions you have. I'm sure I've offended a lot of people. I'm sure I've hurt people's feelings. But every day I wake up, I do my best to be compassionate and to be me. And I'll never apologize for that. And if you feel like this is something that you've been struggling with, I'm going to encourage you to get out your wallet and do one of our programs. And have no shame about it, because I've seen the transformative power of the Ultimate Transformation Academy, of the Inner Circle, of the Raw Transformation. Unfortunately, another one of those isn't starting for a while. But there's options, guys. And the reason that they're so effective is because we know the ins and the outs from beginning to end, what that journey is like, every struggle. And we can help. So if you feel stuck, whether it's your weight loss or you think that losing weight is going to make you happier, then you have to do one of these programs.
I would say especially the Inner Circle.
My suggestion is the Inner Circle. Anybody who's in the Inner Circle will tell you. I just want so badly to help. And it's an investment. But if you don't pay attention. It's an investment in you, for you. Because when you got something to lose, other than weight, you're going to show up. And I promise you it will be the last program you have to do.
But in all seriousness, you guys, if you found value from today's conversation, please just help to spread the love. Share the love. That's all that we ask for. We show up for you guys 5 days a week because we care. Because this is what the world needs to hear. Because there's so much misinformation out there. Sweet potato ain't your problem. What's between your ears is the problem. White rice ain't your problem.
I hear it all the time.
It's the fact that you binge eat on thin brownies at night. Reduced fat thin brownies. You're not focusing on the right thing. You're focusing on how can I stay comfortable with making a small sacrifice. No, dude, you want to be extraordinary? Sacrifice everything.
If you need help, please message me today. If you're like, fuck, these girls said I don't even know what it is or why I would trust them, just message, just open a conversation. That's for free. I'm not here to make you do anything you don't want to do, but I know if we have a solution, shame on me for not suggesting it.
Yeah.
And I felt like this was the right moment to offer that. So we love you guys tremendously. And no matter how like funny or silly or like whatever I try to be sometimes, I really truly care. I really do want the best for every single one of you. I know how much power there is in being in a position where you truly feel unfuckwithable.
Amen.
And that's what I want for every single one of you guys. So, that's a great way to start this week. Thank you guys, all of you who are live. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button because it means that more people will get to see these videos or be suggested these videos. And so many people, I think no matter what walk of life you're in or what position you're at in your life currently, can benefit from something that was said at some point in one of our hundreds of videos somewhere. So please subscribe, share, comment, like, do all the things and all the stuff.
And the same goes for podcasts. And if you're like, man, this is what happens when I see them through their phone on the internet, imagine what will happen when we do this for 3 days straight, right in front of you. There's 2 spots left for ENS Live, you guys.
$3,000.
Take action.
$3,000 a piece.
Take action. 4 levels of action. No action. Retreat. I'm gonna try. Average. Massive action. All in. Your actions speak louder than words. We hope that you have a great week ahead. Tomorrow is Q&A day. So go ahead and drop your questions, and we will see you at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Take care, you guys. Be great. Take massive action and get outside of your own way this week. Happy Monday.
Bye.